Hello, and welcome to Tiffany Teach Tuesday. And today I'm going to be discussing the different careers in the real estate profession. If those who don't know already, I am a licensed professional counselor, and I practiced counseling for 10 years as a school counselor in the Chicago Public School District. And my favorite component of counseling is careers. I am really a big component on careers, to the point that I actually even have an MBA in human resources. And your career really is the component of who you are. Majority of the people wake up every day and go to some form of work, do some form of job, whether it be a parent, a home parent, be it a school teacher, be it a doctor, be it running your own business. People get up and do something of substance for the most part. And picking out a career can be very challenging, especially for young people. But even as adults, some people go to college and get a career in something that they thought as a child they wanted to do and work it for a while and realize that, hey, this is really not for me. And I can say that for myself. I started out as an accountant, did that for 5 years, and was like, yeah, I like accounting, but I like interacting with people more. And my gift is to preach and teach. So here I am teaching now. And so then I went into school counseling. And while I was doing that, I was also running my real estate practice. And I find my most rewarding accomplishments in life as a real estate person. So I went to college, got a lot of degrees, and the thing that I do now and I enjoy the most doesn't require as much formal education as I've received. However, it does help me to I feel better perform my job. So no matter what stage in life you're in, you will have some form of career exploration trying to figure out what is a good fit for you, or should you transition out of this career and retire? Should you stay in it until Jesus call you? Whatever it is, we struggle in our careers with how and what we do. And that's where counseling comes in it, helping you to figure out. Some companies use counselors, and when they're downsizing, they help their employees find new jobs when we're downsizing, or when they're expanding a company, to help them determine who should be moved into what direction and what career area, and that within the organization is beneficial for them. So to help you sort through some of those career explorations, there are some top career modules that I use, career exploration tests that are done, rather, to help you determine the type of careers. So the first one that is most often used currently in the 2020-21 in this era is the self-directed search. And the self-directed search is an option to help you ask you questions about careers and help you decide and sort out with these questions what career fits you. The next one is who I am. And it's a unique approach of a personality test to determine who you are, the type of person you are, based off of your DNA, like more of a DNA makeup, like what excites me based off of my DNA, to help determine what career works for you. And believe it or not, these tests are really accurate. So when I did mine, I'm more of a investigator and also a compassionate person. So I can really do the hard investigative, like accountant. I'm really good with that. But then also I'm good with being understanding and compassionate with other people and helping in the helping field. So I work both sides of my brain, which is weird and not very unusual for people, but I do. I work both sides of my brain. I can be very analytical and about the business, and then I can have a sense of compassion and helping characteristic that helps and want people to be great and better. So that's me off of my test. And it was accurate. It put me in both of those categories. And I utilize both of those categories now in real estate. The Myers-Briggs, which is a very, very used career test that is typically used by big companies to determine if you're a good fit for their organization, where you work best at, and help you develop better. Then the fifth one is the career strengthen test. And this focuses on your skill sets and seeing if you are good with working with people as a whole in general, because some people don't have the personality to work with the public. Some people are introverts and like working independently on their own, where some people are extrovert and like working with people. And I can, again, do both of those. Sometimes I'm all into the people, and then sometimes I like to focus and concentrate on what I'm doing and not be bothered. So the sixth one is the Big Five personality test. And this test focuses on how you work and how well you communicate with others. That was the one. I'm sorry. And the one before the Christian test is, it asks you boring questions about your work habit. So those top six tests can be used to help you decide what career you would like to go into and help you determine where you're at in your career, if it's what area you would like to move it within your career. And I have hi, Akila. And so I thought I had someone made a comment. So today I'm going to talk about 30 top careers. If I have time, I'm not going to keep you long, in the real estate profession, and determining if this is for you. You can utilize some of those personality tests to help you decide if this will work for you. And if you're confused, if it's something you're like, should I go into real estate? Because they were like, oh, I really want to do real estate, but it may not be for you. Or it may be a certain career of real estate that is for you. Like, I'm not a big component in sales and real estate. I do it well because of my analytical side of understanding how the sales process should work. But also because of my analytical side, I'm like, look, this is what you can afford. This is how it works. And this is how we should do this process. But because I have the other component, which is the helping side of me, I'm compassionate in the area of making people comfortable with the process and getting through the process and navigating through the process. But some people don't exhibit those traits that I do. And real estate, it sounds like a fun area to work in, but it may not be for you. But it's also areas in real estate that's not sales that you can do. You can be the behind the scenes in these particular areas. So understanding the different type of careers in real estate will also help you to be able to navigate in what areas of real estate that you would like to go into. So first, we're going to start with appraisals. There are two types of appraisers. The one can be a residential or commercial appraiser. What is an appraiser? An appraiser is an individual who assesses the value of a property. And the average salary for a residential appraiser runs about $55,000, whereas the average salary for a commercial appraiser runs about $100,000. That's the average. But it's a wide spectrum of what you can make, but the average person that's in this field is making those dollars. Now, commercial appraiser deals with anything that is above 4 units and not residential. Anything below 4 units is residential. That's the difference between the two. Then you have commercial leasing manager. A commercial leasing manager is an individual who helps you to find commercial leasing space like storefronts, department store spaces, rent those out, different things like that. Those are what commercial leasing managers do. And they make an average about $110,000 a year. Then you have a commercial real estate broker, which helps you to buy these commercial properties. Anything over 5 units in residential, 5 units for residential is commercial. Anything over, yes, it's commercial. And then on the commercial side is like storefronts, shopping centers, all of that falls under commercials. And a commercial residential broker makes an average of $80,000, but they can make more than that. And it just depends on what company you work with, the relationships you build, and they typically work Mondays through Fridays, 9 to 5. A commercial real estate loan officer, that's the person who finances these commercial deals. They make an average salary of $80,000 a year, and it can exceed more than that, just depending on what organization you work with, what they feel your worth is. But the average person in commercial real estate loan officer makes $80,000. And these are the people who finance the commercial deals, help you get the lending you need to be able to purchase a commercial property. Then we have community development manager. These individuals help to expand and improve community services. They determine if there's something should be improved in the prop facility, or should they build something new. And these individuals make about $110,000 a year. Next, we have an escrow officer. And an escrow officer is an unbiased person who ensures that the real estate transaction, mortgage transaction, is done properly for both on the both buyer and seller side. And they make about $50,000 a year. A foreclosure specialist is a person who monitors and manages the foreclosing process. What is foreclosure means? If someone has defaulted on their loan and the bank has to take possession of the property, this person oversees that this possession and the whole foreclosure process goes as supposed to. Land administrator. They serve as a liaison between the land department and the customer to ensure that the interpretation and the agreements and everything about that land is facilitated and recorded properly. And they make about $160,000 a year. Then we have a leasing consultant. The leasing consultant, they help consult you on what you should lease, how you should lease it, what you should do if this works for you. And that's just as a consultant to help you navigate through the leasing process. They make about $30,000 a year. A leasing administrator, the person that helps to facilitate the paperwork and process the whole leasing process, they make about $50,000 a year. A leasing administrator manager who oversees the people who are in the leasing office and managing the leasing individuals, make about $75,000. Mortgage collection manager, and this is the person who goes and does collections of mortgages that are in default and making sure that they're being collected to obtain it. They make about $80,000. A mortgage credit analyst, level 1, which is a new employee, they make about $55,000. Level 1, starting level, makes about $42,000 average. A mortgage loan processor manager, the person that processes the loan after you spent with the lender there, the back end person who's processing the loans in the back end office, they make about $90,000. A real estate attorney makes about $150,000. A real estate consultant makes about $65,000. A property manager makes about $95,000 a year. A residential property manager makes about $60,000 a year. A real estate manager makes about retail real estate manager makes about $125,000 a year. A real estate zoning manager makes $110,000, average $110,000 a year. A real estate sale agent makes an average of $40,000 a year. A real estate relocator director makes $160,000 a year, averaging. A title examiner makes an average of $40,000 a year. The top mortgage loan service manager makes $155,000 a year. And last but not least, the top retail real estate executive makes about $275,000 a year. So it's some money to be made, but in anything you do, it takes work and effort. And no matter what career you go into, you have to put in the work to get the outcome. You can make a lot of money, but you have to be able to be qualified to do the job. And how do you do it? You can first find out if it's something that you want to do. Once you find out if it's something that you really want to do, get the knowledge and expertise, information that you need to be great at what you do. Everybody has knowledge, but how do you implement it? And are you good at what you know when you implement it? So I hope today that someone learned something new. And if not, hopefully the next time you tune into Tiffany Teach Tuesday, I have something that you can learn from. Thank you as usual and as always for tuning in to Tiffany Teach Tuesday. And I will see you next week, Tuesday. Oh, and next week, Tuesday, I plan to have a guest, my mentor, Ann Reed, for the final part of our Tiffany Teach Tuesday, Saluting Women in Real Estate. So Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye bye.